Alright, welcome back. This is M-Dog. Have been doing a lot of streaming last 2 days, long streams. I'll get those VODs uploaded on YouTube. Well, the first one already is today's. I'll get up there in a little bit. I do want to try putting some shorter videos together as well. And I wasn't planning on this being the first spot I did it, but then, you know, randomness intervened, and so I guess this will be the first video we do here. The main reason is it's turned out to be a pretty nice place to use the baitfish at. The Siberian loach, which are very catchable. All the loach I have I got from Tunguska, or most of them. You can also catch them here pretty easily just on caddisfly larvae on a, you know, little feeder, little small hooks, and caddisfly larvae will catch them all over this river, honestly. Just use a little picker rod, little feeder rod, whatever. You're not going to catch a whole lot else on caddisfly, but as you see, the reason why I have enjoyed this is not only the trophy. This little spot that we are at, we're about 30 to 35 clip on the baitfish. I've moved them around a little bit. We're standing actually at 264, 183, which was here on the map. Kind of casting into this 4.5 meter hole. Spin fishing, I've been kind of spinning all over this area, catching different fish at different places. But the main thing is, we're not just catching chum salmon. There's actually some pretty nice variety here. Several undersized rainbow trout, and then this one marker. Again, this one was on baitfish. Pink salmon down here, caught those spinning. Nice linnick on the Soturi. And that's not something that I catch in most spots. And then you just saw the white spotted char. So the video I was really planning on doing first was more at this pretty familiar spot here off camp. But if you watch the VOD from today, I mean, I fished there a lot using several different techniques, including spin fishing with 2 rods at once, which was a blast. Definitely increased the action and the intensity, although I think there's still something to be said about just using 1 rod and making sure you're getting jig step more often and all that. So you can also spin fish here. I mean, it's not just been about the bait fish, but the spin fishing, at least for me, it's not been as active as that spot we were at earlier. I mean, I would say the thing that has gotten the most interesting fish down here, obviously including that trophy chum, has been the bait fish. So I guess for what that's worth, you know, keep that in mind. But spinning has also been pretty good because, you know, like I said before, a lot of species seem to be available down here, and because you're not being overwhelmed with the chum just like every cast, if you do catch a fish, it seems like there's a pretty good chance it could be a decent species. One of the ones that's worth a little bit more XP and silver. Let's see if we can get a jig step going here. With the current, with the rocky bottom, it's a little inconsistent at times. Some sort of lanes are easier to maintain it than others, but it looks like we're doing okay here. So let's see if we can get something to bite on our jig step. I'll show you the setup here in a second. This is a casting setup. I've switched back and forth. I've used spinning and casting a good bit here at Yama. And they, you know, obviously both good. Just depends on your setups and how much strength you want to use in the leader and what gear you have and all that. So, but I'll show you what we're using here. And it looks like we've also caught something else on baitfish, which is exciting. So what species is this one? So a nice little coho salmon, which we like to see. So I'm going with a pretty short 30 centimeter 19 fluorocarbon leader. And what that means is the larger fish, like earlier in the stream, we caught the king salmon on this setup, or very similar setup. And so this was quite a fight, right? 27 kilo. I mean, that's just hold on and try to survive kind of situation. But for a lot of the other fish in the river, this 19 kilo leader has felt about right. I think a lot of folks are using 35 or even larger fluorocarbon leader and still seem to be getting a really nice bite rate. So I'm not sure that that going as small as I have is required. Although again, some of that is going to depend on how strong your equipment is, obviously. So on the baitfish rigs, 1.0 hook on that one, which that is actually the one we caught the trophy on. 2.0 hook on this one. We're using Siberian loach that are getting less and less fresh as the moments go by. But remember back to the preview streams, at least back then, it seemed like the freshness on the baitfish wasn't as critical. Man, another nice fish. And this is what I'm talking about. I haven't caught on baitfish or spin this range of fish, again, without being overwhelmed by what seems like constant chum, hookups. So it's pretty exciting, I'd say. It's pretty exciting. So, it might be worth trying. I mean, again, I've spent a lot of time at this spot here, the most time. I've spent time at the 3-meter hole. This was pretty good for spinner baits. Also dodging the cohos pretty well there. Sorry, not the cohos, the chums. The first spot that I spent time the first day was kind of throwing into this pit. That seems solid as well. I've spent some time down here. This has been good, but I need to spend more time there. And then we caught our Kaluga here to get that out of the way. And that's pretty much where I've spent the most time so far. And I'll try to, any spots that just seem like really decent, I'll try to maybe spend a little time, put a little video together or something. So let's cheers with a little spitting. Try to get our comfort up a little bit. And let's see if we can get one or two more fish for you before we sign out. No need to be belaboring the point. I have spent a lot of time on Twitch. If you've been around for my streams, you're probably sick of me already. So let's just see if we can get another fish for you here in the rain as it's getting a little later. So there's our jig step. Now can we keep it? By the way, if you were with me earlier today, we have been switching lures like crazy. Don't necessarily get stuck on the Soturi. All the Sotori seem to be working well. Change colors. If something slows down, change it up. Vico's working amazingly. Hunters, of course, seem to be doing a lot of good work. A lot of the ultralight spoon spinners, wobblers, poppers. I mean, there's so much that's working right now. You can have a lot of different setups, have a lot of different fun. I've had a blast doing Ciberillo some as well. Again, I'll try to feature some of those other techniques in a future video. I also want to make a video doing the double spinning technique. You might have seen other people or you might have tried it yourself, but it really can work pretty well in certain spots at certain times at least. So, oh, we did get something. Looks like it's small. Oh, we got a couple of baitfish hookups as well. So we can hopefully end here with a little bit of flurry. So cohos here, like we said before, a lot of variety. Unfortunately, this is going to be a small fella. One thing that starts to happen at overnight, and just sort of depends on how much bait fish you have, on what your tolerance for this would be. Sometimes at overnight, it's just worth putting different baits in the water. You're going to catch burbot on just about anything, right? So you may not want to use bait fish, especially if you have the rarer bait fish. But even on these, possibly just put frogs or night crawlers, fish pieces, any of the other baits that you'll often see. We'll cast one more time for you real quick. You'll often see burbot come in, and you'll do fine on burbot. But if you want to try to catch the other fish species on the bait fish, you can either, you'll get them occasionally overnight, but the burbot seem to be so active in many spots here at Yama that you're going to lose a significant number of bait fish on burbot. In fact, the bait fish bite rate is good enough that unless you're getting them with gold, you almost need to have one rod catching your bait fish in at all times, or just take a clean break and spend an hour catching bait fish. It's active enough that it can be hard to. There we go. Good. Last fish at least has a little bulk to him. This spot's been really good though, really fun. It's just nice to see the percentages of chum sort of move a little bit, right? And this is another decent fish here. It is another chum, but it's a nicer one. I like it. Okay. Anything else popping on here? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, I think the front one is at 30 and the back one's at 35 meters in terms of the bait fish. It's getting pretty late, so I'll probably take these out. This is a good time to stop the video though. Again, I'm at 264, 183 or thereabouts. Don't feel like you have to stay in one spot. Move around a little bit. I've had probably the most success kind of casting straight north or just slightly east of north, but I've caught fish back that way a little bit, and even back up here, kind of casting out towards this direction of the hole has also been good. So kind of experiment if you do fish in the spot. I think it's worth putting in the rotation though. Not just because of the trophy. I mean, I think, you know, that could happen anywhere because chums are pretty much anywhere. But to see it come out on a baitfish was pretty exciting. I enjoyed that. But look at some of these other species that we've caught just in this spot on both spoons and baitfish. Very nice in a short amount of time. Yeah, I guess, let's see. Let's look at the times, in fact. Where's the move? 50. So the move was, I don't know, a couple of these fish here at the end, or I know I caught the rainbow trout here. Yeah, I'm not sure. I moved down to this spot with maybe 2 or 3 fish in my net already. So again, this isn't the most active bite rate, is it? But the quality of fish is a little higher. So anyway, worth trying. I've certainly enjoyed it. Hopefully you will as well if you give it a try. Still a little bit of weird physics going on with the lines and the rod tips, but we're having fun at Yama. This is a good time to take these out too because of the burbot coming. All right, thanks for watching. Tight lines, everybody, and I will see you soon.